It has been nearly 13 months since Russia invaded the sovereign nation of Ukraine. Ukraine has been independent since 1991 and has presented no threat whatsoever to Russia. Russia launched and has continued for over a year now a war of aggression in flagrant violation of international law. This is and remains a Russian frontal assault on the rules-based international order that has been in place for 80 years, 8 decades since the end of World War II. In the face of this act of aggression, in a war of conquest, this group remains unified. NATO is united. The people of Ukraine are unyielding. They are standing steadfast in the face of the Russian onslaught. Russia remains isolated. Their military stocks are rapidly depleting. Their soldiers are demoralized, untrained, unmotivated conscripts and convicts, and their leadership is failing them. Having already failed in their strategic objectives, Russia is increasingly relying on other countries, such as Iran and North Korea, as the Secretary pointed out. They're using Iranian drones to continue to terrorize Ukrainian civilians. This relationship is built on the cruel bonds of oppressing freedom, subverting liberty, and maintaining their tyranny. Yet free people will not return to the shackles of tyranny. Ukrainians remain defiant, with steel in their spines and courage in their veins, and they have the broad support of the United States and the international community. The Battle of Bakhmut continues, but Ukraine is fighting with valor. With robust defenses, Ukraine has fixed the Russian forces at that city, and they're exacting very heavy costs on the Wagner Group and the Russian regular military. Ukraine remains strong. They are capable and trained. Ukrainian soldiers are strong in their combat units. Their tanks, infantry fighting vehicles, and armored vehicles are only going to bolster the front line. Ukrainian precision munitions continue to target the logistics and communication systems of Russia. Lacking effective small unit leaders and absent the proper equipment, this is a grinding attrition warfare that Russia is trying to execute. Wave after wave of Russian soldiers are thrown into the chaos of war, absent any sort of synchronized coordination and direction. Russia continues to pay severely in terms of lives and military equipment for its continued war of choice. Right now, there is intense fighting in and around Bakhmut, and the Russians are making small tactical advances, but at great cost. Elsewhere, the front line remains relatively static, with significant exchanges of artillery, but no significant maneuver gains by either side. Right now, as you know, there is a significant ongoing effort to build up the Ukrainian military in terms of equipment, munitions, and training in a variety of countries in order to enable Ukraine to defend itself. The increased Ukrainian capability will allow the Ukrainian leadership to develop and execute a variety of options in the future to achieve their objectives and bring this war to a successful conclusion. This is an act of brutal aggression by President Putin and the Russian military with complete disregard for human life, both civilian and military. The Russians are wantonly killing civilians in large attacks on civilian infrastructure in densely populated urban areas. The severely undertrained, poorly led, poorly equipped Russian forces are conducting mindless frontal attacks and sacrificing hundreds per day. The political objectives that Putin intended to achieve 384 days ago are obvious to the world, and it should be obvious to Putin that these objectives are no longer achievable by continuing this war. And Putin can end this war, and he can end it today, and he needs to do so. Free people are not easily conquered, and the Ukrainian people are free, and they will never give up in their fight to stay free. 2 weeks ago, the United States released another security assistance package, which included HIMARS, ammunition, artillery, vehicle maintenance, and vehicles. The 9 countries have pledged over 150 Leopard tanks, for example. This group that met today is providing air defense, artillery, regular artillery, rocket artillery, armor, ammunition, and that will be critical to Ukraine's ability to continue the fight. A broad mix of air defense systems have been promised, and they will protect the skies over Kyiv and the free cities of Ukraine. Artillery and armor are going to strengthen Ukraine lines, enable their forces to synchronize fire and movement for either offensive or defensive operations. long-range fires would challenge Russia's ability to command and control, protect, and sustain their forces. The Ukrainian soldiers wear the blue and yellow of the Ukrainian flag, but the colors of 50 other nations that met today stand beside Ukraine to support the principles of the rules-based international order, a system in place to prevent aggression and uphold the values of liberty and sovereignty. That system is what preserves the peace and provides benefits throughout the globe. As President Biden and Secretary Austin and many others, to include all the leaders of Europe, have said many times, that we will remain committed for as long as it takes. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you, gentlemen. First question will go to Lita Baldor, Associated Press.
Thank you. Mr. Secretary, you said you spoke with your counterpart. Can you give us a sense of the Russians' reaction to the call? Did they suggest to you their defense that this was an accident or intentional or that it never happened? Can you just give us a better readout of your call? And General Milley, have you spoken to your counterpart, or are you intending to do so? And do you believe, after what you've seen, that this was intentional? Is this considered an act of war?
Well, thanks for the question, Lita. I won't speak for Minister Shoigu, nor will I get into the details of our discussion. I'll just reiterate that the United States will fly and operate wherever international law allows. Now, we take any potential for escalation very seriously, and that's why I believe it's important to keep the lines of communication open. I think it's really key that we're able to pick up the phone and engage each other, and I think that will help to prevent miscalculation going forward.
So, Lita, thanks for the question. On the intentionality, don't know. I do plan to talk to my counterpart, General Gerasimov. We have a scheduled call. We'll see if that works out. So, was it intentional or not? Don't know yet. We know that the intercept was intentional. We know that the aggressive behavior was intentional. We also know it was very unprofessional and very unsafe. The actual contact of the fixed-wing Russian fighter with our UAV, the physical contact of those two, not sure yet. That remains to be seen. But I can't. I can tell you with certainty, though, that we have absolute evidence of the contact and the intercepts, et cetera, and it's very aggressive. You've heard about the dumping of the fuel and everything else. We have video evidence of all that. So there's no question that part of it's intentional. The actual physical contact of the aircraft, that I'm not so sure. So we'll have to figure that out. That we're not positive of that yet. As far as an active war goes, I'm not gonna go there. Incidents happen, and clearly we do not seek armed conflict with Russia, and I believe that at this point we should investigate this incident and move on from there. But we will continue to exercise our rights in international airspace.